Hi, my name is Malachi Carrasco. I'm from Selma, California, and I'm a kinesiology major. I'm on the track team, and as you can see, I've been delivered. Yeah, so when I started flipping, I was 9 years old. I started wrestling when I was like 6 or 5. And so from wrestling and just kind of messing around on the mat, I kind of wanted to flip. So, eventually, like, I was 9 years old, starting to get more coordinated. So I was just in my backyard one day and I just decided to do a backflip. I was watching like celebrations of football. So I saw all these guys doing backflips. I'm like, I could do that too. And I went out and I learned it in like 1 hour, and I did my first backflip. So that was funny. It was okay. I mean, I put my hands down and like came around, and like I finally, like after like 4 or 5 tries, I got one. I landed it, and I was all excited. Yeah. Sports I've done, definitely track and field is my favorite. As a kid, I grew up doing like almost every sport. I did like baseball, wrestling, track, football. I only did basketball like 1 season as a kid because it was always at the same time as wrestling, so I couldn't get in the way of that. But yeah, I definitely like track the most. I think it's just like it's a sport where you can see your progress like right away, and so you kind of know like if you're on the right path. You'll know like, yeah, I'm gonna do good if I just keep training at this. And then I like coaching it too. I feel like I could stay around the coaching field of track and like I wouldn't be tired of that sport like my whole life basically. As far as jumping goes, there's like a lot of different ways to jump, and so there's like vertical and there's high jump, there's long jump, triple jump, broad jump. There's a bunch of different ways to measure jumping, and every type of jumping style has a different body type that's like ideal for that. And so I guess I'll do my high jump and my vertical. So off 2 feet, running is my highest vertical. I can get the highest off the ground off 2 feet, and so far I've been able to get somewhere around 42 inches off the ground. I haven't officially tested in a while, but I did get like a 40-inch vertical, like off of like a little bell that you could touch, but I'm definitely like a little higher than that now. So, and then off 1 foot, I'd say my vertical is like, it's under 40 for sure, but it's definitely like close to 40. So, it's just kind of crazy because there's some guys who are really freaky athletes, like they can get like up there, but when it comes to my event, track high jump, it's all about technique. It's all about using your speed well. So I feel like that's kind of what got me to jump my PR, which is 6'11". I definitely was able to just use my speed and my technique to get over that. I mean, it's crazy. You have to get pretty high off the ground, but if you look at my vertical compared to a lot of other guys, it's like, it's just technique that separates us basically. But yeah. So for high jump, there's like a lot of different ways like to do it. But after like 1968, this one guy, his name is like Dick Fosbury, he invented the flop where you face your back to the bar and you kind of put your shoulders down and your hips come over it. And so he figured out that like the physics of that means that like your center of mass can be a little lower than the bar and you'll still be able to clear it without touching it. And so like all the other methods with high jump is like you have to get your center of mass like up to the bar, a little higher than it. But with high jump, like doing the flop, you just have to get just barely close enough to the bar and your form will get you over. So that's what mostly everybody does now. They kind of figured out like that's the best method. So that's what I do. Yeah, when I was 16, I was about 5'10", I'd say. I got my first dunk off of a lob. One of my good mentors, Jonathan Clark, he threw the lob up there, and I caught it and I just put it down there. I was really surprised because I had never been that close to dunking before. But yeah, and then also what's kind of cool is that Jonathan Clark, he was like a pro dunker. He still is a pro dunker. And so it was like, dang, like that guy threw the ball for my first dunk. It's like kind of meaningful. So coming from, wrestling, like basically my whole life, I did track at the same time for most of it, but but wrestling was definitely like the priority. Like with all my training, like my whole life, it was trying to get me to be the best wrestler as I could possibly be. So it's just, wrestling's a sport that's like kind of, like it's ingrained in like being a little tired all the time. You're always a little tired, and you're always like kind of pushing past your limits. So I definitely feel like that's helped me, like as like an athlete in track. It's like sometimes it's like these workouts are really hard, but they're really short, in track. So wrestling workouts are really long. They're like 2-3 hours, and so it kind of helped me, like give me perspective of like, if I could make it through a whole 3 hours of pain in wrestling, like then it's just like an hour and a half or whatever of pain in track. So it kind of gave me like that extra gear that like I don't have to like make excuses for myself, because I've been through like a lot from that sport. So, but also just the pressure that wrestling gives too, because I mean, you're out there, you're on a mat, it's just you and another guy, and like you have to beat them, but everyone's watching, and so that definitely could give you some like performance anxiety. And I definitely feel like having to manage that my whole life, like getting over that, like so now like, I'm in track, it's like even though everyone's watching me, it's like it's different, it's just I'm used to it. Definitely the biggest inspiration to me is a high jumper named Stefan Holm. He's a Swedish high jumper. He was the shortest person to win the Olympics in the high jump. So he was only 181, which is like 5'11 and a quarter, 5'11 and a half. And so he's only 1 centimeter shorter than me, and he jumped to 7'10 and a half, 240, and it's like this guy is basically my height, and he's doing all that, and he's winning the Olympics. So definitely that guy's like an inspiration to me, because it just shows like you don't have to be the tallest guy to be good, but I mean, shoot, it helps a lot, but he showed me it's possible. I would say that you can't improve at something without actually doing it a lot. And so if you're trying to get a higher vertical, you wouldn't lift weights, right? You would jump. So think about like, if you want to jump higher, then you need to go jump as high as you can until your body is used to jumping higher. That's like the main thing as a beginner. Like you need to do what you want to be good at, like a lot, because you're teaching your body, you're teaching your brain how to like be coordinated in that way. Because like there's a lot of guys that are like super powerful or super like strong, but if they don't jump a lot, then their body won't know how to use all that strength. So it definitely takes like a bunch of reps. Like you just got to go out and do it a lot. And I think that's just the main mistake people do, is like they think like if they just jump once every couple of weeks, like they'll jump high. But you got to go like every week, at least once a week, and then possibly twice a week, jumping as high as you can. It's just, I really appreciate like how much effort they put into clothing back in the day. I see how like the quality was better. They tried a lot of stuff. They tried a lot of crazy designs. I mean, some of it was ugly, but a lot of it was really cool. And so I like appreciate that like vintage clothing was when people kind of cared about clothes more, and they wanted to make it like more innovative, like start trying new things. And there's a lot of like really cool things that like I wish they would still do, but like sometimes they do it, sometimes they try to bring it back if it's more expensive now. So but yeah, I really like just the fact that like you can express yourself a little better because it's more unique. So yeah, my favorite genre is like funk, kind of like groove music, from like the late 70s, early 80s. That's definitely like my favorite like genre. And I would say like definitely my top 2 favorite artists as far as like music from that era goes is Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder. And I would say like my third favorite, it definitely kind of varies. There's a lot of artists I like. I like the band like Earth, Wind and Fire. Like their music is always super good. The Gap band's cool. It's just like they made music that was more fun, more like easy to dance to. So I think that type of music is like my favorite just for that reason. For me, there's a song that I really like. It's called Release the Beast. It's like a 80s song, like a rock song. And yeah, it's a super hype song. Daft Punk, they used it as like they like kind of bit off of it and they made their own version called Robot Rock. So a lot of people think that's the song, but it's actually by Breakwater. It's like an early 80s song. So yeah, that song gets me going every time. If I hear it, I'm ready to jump, bro. I'm ready. So. Another part of my training that's really important that I've been adapting really like recently is just being able to like train for the like purpose of fixing my posture. Because I mean, like, not only is it gonna be like better for me in the long run, but also like short term I'll be able to like perform better because like my body will be in the right positions to put force out. So I definitely have learned a lot from the internet of just about how to breathe through your posture, and just like basically when you're moving, your breath has to match the movement, and if you can find a way to unite those two, that's how your exercises will be like the best. So definitely like just really like taking deep breaths throughout whenever you're stretching, or if you're trying to do like just something that's like really slow but controlled. Like think about your breath like being part of that movement too, because like our deep core is like connected to our breath. So if you take really deep breaths, it actually is a core workout. It doesn't feel like it, but if you learn how to connect your core to your breath, that's how you're gonna like get rid of back pain, kind of start feeling more like upright. And it all just comes from breathing. So definitely that's like most important to me. Before every track meet, I always try to eat oatmeal. And with some type of peanut or something in it, just give me that like, you know, hearty protein that like gonna stick with me throughout the meet. And another superstition that I have is right before I jump, I'll change my socks. So yeah, I'll warm up, I'll get ready, and right when I'm about to jump, I'll change my socks. It just kind of makes me feel like more fresh. My feet kind of feel more like, you know, like kind of cool instead of feeling like sweaty. Like
after warming up, right?
Like so after warming up, I was changing my socks so I'm ready to jump. And I feel like that just helps me get in like the right like headspace. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. Like new socks, there you go, we're fresh, let's go. It would definitely be volleyball. I think volleyball would probably be one of the sports that I would have been really good at if I was raised in it. Especially since I'm like a 2-foot jumper, so I jump higher off too. So yeah, I'd already be more genetically, I guess, disposed to be good at that one. So, but yeah, volleyball is definitely a really fun one. I have a friend named Brendan O'Neill. He's like a crazy volleyball player and a dunker. So kind of we met through track and then we started dunking together. But yeah, I feel like seeing how he's so good at volleyball, it kind of inspires me to be like, dang, like maybe if I did volleyball, I'd be pretty good at it too. But yeah, it's a fun sport. Thank you for watching. My name is Malachi Carrasco, and once again, I have been delivered.